Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shift Happens podcast. I'm Kamila Adamatti, CEO of Tona Business Consulting. In each episode, I sit down with senior leaders to share real stories, lessons, and strategies for leading organizational change. This show is built for you, so I would love to hear your feedback and ideas. And remember, when shift happens, great leaders rise. Today's episode is going to be a little different. Since this is our 20th episode, I thought it would be a perfect moment to pause, reflect, and celebrate. Over the past conversations, I've had the privilege of learning from so many incredible senior leaders, each one sharing insights, lessons, and stories that reveal what it really takes to lead change. In this milestone episode, I'll be bringing you a summary of what I consider the most impactful takeaways we've heard so far. And along the way, I will also add some of my own reflections. What stood out to me, what surprised me, and how these lessons connect to the challenges organizations face. So whether you've been with us since episode 1 or you are just joining in, this is a great way to look back on the wisdom we've gathered and get inspired for what's ahead. Many of our guests have emphasized that at the heart of every organizational change are people. Adolfo Carreño from Citibank, for instance, he shared a powerful story about consolidating back office functions across the LATAM region. He realized early on that it wasn't just a project management issue, but a deeply human one. His approach shifted to listening to people's concerns, creating an environment of dignity, and bringing transparency and empathy to the whole process. Similarly, Edgar Moyano highlighted that change management isn't just about methodology or consultants. It's fundamentally about people understanding the why, the how, and the what of change to successfully adapt. He noted that even with powerful tools like Google Drive, many organizations struggle with effective digital teamwork due to a lack of digital literacy and cultural adaptation. This emphasizes the importance of a people-centered approach. As Adolfo put it, change is an emotional journey, not just a mathematical problem. So let me ask you, how have you experienced change? Research shows that about 70% of people dislike change, often because of fear, loss of control or status, anxiety, risks, or even negative past experiences. And the list keeps going. But when we work closely with our teams during transformations, bringing clarity, purpose, empathy, and transparency, the journey can become much smoother and far more successful. During my conversation with Kevin Donovan, he stressed the importance of servant leadership, solving problems with people and understanding the culture of change. He shared his method of categorizing employees based on performance and cultural alignment, highlighting the tough decisions leaders often face. And when I talked to John F. Beering from Red Dot Corporation, he shared that he stepped into a pivotal moment of the company and that he focused on realigning the leadership team and defining new corporate values. The results? Lower turnover, higher productivity, and improved customer service, demonstrating how leadership alignment drives measurable change. And Rubens Passos from ACO Brands, reflecting on his experience leading transformations in Canada, emphasized that alignment with leadership and constant, transparent communication are essential to engage the team. And in the communication, explain the why of the change. This is also mentioned by Jason from Arch Medical and Aerospace, who also share the importance of why, as well as involving employees with empathy and continuous workforce development. I often say it's crucial to address the 3 whys of change. Why is it important for the organization? Why is it important for my department? And why is it important for me? To answer these questions effectively, you need to do some pre-work from a strategic perspective. That's why the very first step in change management is strategy. In my methodology, speech, S is for strategy. You must ensure alignment with the vision, mission, and goals, and then build a story that connects these elements so people clearly understand the purpose and the bigger picture. I also loved what Elizabeth Osborne from the Great Lakes Credit Union shared about leading change. She highlighted the importance of finding cheerleaders, which are the influential allies who believe in the change and help spread the why. She also mentioned the need for a clear elevator pitch, 20 seconds or less, to explain the purpose, benefits, and alignment to the company's strategy. And as I will discuss now about communication, where she stressed the importance of having consistent messaging across the organization. Effective communication is a recurring theme in all the conversations. Drew Moeller from Buckman highlighted the importance of understanding why change is happening from both organizational and individual perspectives. He even used simultaneous translation in global training sessions to ensure clear communication across diverse teams. Carlos Mouzinho, from his experiences at Ambev and Grupo Trigo, believes that communication is the first key to leadership for change. He dedicated 90% of his time to improving communication as a leadership and change management tool, even adapting his style to connect with visual and kinesthetic teams. Alan Hankins, reflecting on his time at DirecTV, emphasized consistent and intentional communication across multicultural teams. He noted that repeatedly communicating messages and aligning language helped maintain cohesion and drive successful multi-year transformational projects. And what about the importance of feedback, so strongly emphasized by Rubens Passos? Communication is a two-way street, and we must ensure we truly listen to our people. That way, change doesn't just happen to them, it happens with them, because they are engaged and a part of it. Rubens is a strong advocate for the systematic use of engagement surveys, conducted annually or biannually, followed by deep analysis and concrete actions. The secret to success, he says, lies in having the CEO as the sponsor of the survey, looking beyond the average, analyzing the extremes in specific departments, maintaining a laser focus on the 3 lowest scoring areas and working on them consistently for 12 months, sharing the results and action plans with employees to maintain credibility and, of course, transparency. These leaders show us that communication isn't just about relying information. It's about building, understanding, trust, and a shared vision. Some of my best practices for building an effective communication I would love to share with you right now. They are: identify stakeholders and clarify their role and impact during the change. Define what you want people to know, feel, and do. Always include a clear call to action, even if it's simply informing them that no action is required from them right now. Reinforce messages through multiple channels and voices within the organization. Don't be afraid to over-communicate. Repetition builds clarity and trust. And of course, be consistent. Now let's talk about resistance, the must-have topic in every training I deliver. Resistance to change is inevitable, but how leaders navigate it makes all the difference. Arthur Lavieri, during his turnaround experience at Siemens in the United States, faced significant cultural clashes and employee distrust. His successful strategy involved transparency, direct involvement with informal leaders and unions, and creating collaborative work groups to plan the restructuring together. He emphasized that building trust and acting with consistency are very important. Joe Lambert, in his insights on leadership, stressed the importance of listening and being reflective, building a succession plan, and empowering team members. He also shared how he transformed his own early performing arts audition failure in a creative and positive environment for young performers, highlighting growth through challenges. In similar terms, from Buckman, Nina shared that listening is very, very important. Dr. Voria, founder and CEO of National US-India Chamber of Commerce, emphasized the importance of transparency and trust in business, particularly when building relationships in new communities and navigating cultural differences. She also highlighted the success of mentorship programs in fostering entrepreneurial spirit and adapting to global business. As Steve Matas wisely noted, there's no magic formula for transformation. It requires a structured process, tailored solutions, and the ability to diagnose issues and adjust strategies. Let's reflect for a moment. Being there for your people is actually very simple, but are you making time for it? Are you building trust and leading with intention and empathy? And if you are in a higher level role in the company, remember this. Before your leaders can support their teams through change, they themselves need to go through it. Leaders should be advocates of the change, but to do it effectively, they must receive all the support, tools, and empowerment they need to guide their teams with confidence. Are you navigating mergers and acquisitions? In the episode with Gorik Hosepian, he shared his experience from several large-scale corporate transformations where organizations with very different cultures had to come together. Gorik emphasizes the importance of patience, empathy, and resisting the urge to rush integration. His guiding principle is clear. Don't push cultural change faster than necessary. Moving too quickly can cause more harm than financial delays. He warns of common pitfalls such as tight deadlines, forcing full integration, and creating an us versus them mindset. In one failed case he described, even after nearly 2 years, the cultural divide persisted. Both companies had strong histories and identities, and the lack of compromise led to missed opportunities, financial losses, and ultimately, the collapse of the intended synergy. The takeaway for me? Successful M&A isn't just about the financials. It's about nurturing cultural integration at the right pace. Talking about culture, what about creating one environment and one culture where it's okay to make mistakes? Renan Lemos explains that in the learning journey, mistakes are inevitable. Of course, there are certain mistakes that shouldn't happen twice, but the key is to ask this question: what are you learning from them? He also points out that you can't delegate and expect perfection. Instead, leaders should build an environment where people feel safe to share their mistakes and grow from them. He often asks his team, which mistake taught you the most? And I want to leave the same question for you, my audience. Let's reflect on this together. Share your comments and thoughts, send me a DM. Let's walk this change journey side by side. After all, change is about continuous growth, and making mistakes is an inevitable part of the process. Nina also reminds us that culture isn't something you can force. It takes time, alignment, and consistent behavior, living up to what is said. What we've learned from these incredible leaders is that change is a constant force that shapes our personal and professional lives. It demands empathy, clear communication, strategic vision, and an unwavering focus on human element. The last point I want to leave you with is this: every change carries risk. But after asking, what risks does this change involve? Also ask, what are the risks of not changing? Remember, inaction is still a decision. Thank you for joining us on the Shift Happens podcast. I hope these stories and insights have inspired you to navigate change with greater confidence and clarity. And if you're a leader navigating constant change, let's talk. Reach out to tonabusiness.com. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit Shift Happens, the podcast, to apply. Thank you. Obrigada. Muchas gracias. See you next week. Bye-bye.